Well, I'm here. I'm here to see bros. We almost didn't get in. Woo! Oh my God. So, bros. I saw it. I saw bros so that you don't have to, guys. I don't even know where to begin. I hadn't even heard about this movie until I was being guilted into going, or else I would be deemed a homophobe. Which is how, most of us want to be convinced to go to a movie. So, Bros is, I'm just going to read a little bit of the background. 2022 American romantic comedy film directed by Nicholas Stoller. It's a screenplay he co wrote with Billy Eichner, who most of us know from Billy on the Street. And I have a feeling after this movie, he'll be returning to the street. I hope he doesn't produce any more movies. Billy Eichner stars in this, and he also executive produces. Stoller, Judd Apatow, and Joshua Church are all producers on the film. Film also stars Luke McFarlane, T.S. Madison, Monica Raymond, Guillermo Diaz, Guy Branum, and Amanda Bierce, who you might remember from Married with Children. She played Marcy. Remember when I was talking about her the other day? How she was coming out and talking about how sexist or misogynistic it was to be on the set of Married with Children. Well, now we know she was just saying that for PR for this film. It is marketed as a gay romantic comedy. Keep that in mind when I describe what this movie entails. That this is marketed as a gay romantic comedy by a major studio, openly LGBTQ principal cast. I heard that everybody on this film is gay, and I'm laughing thinking about like even the boom mic guy is gay. He's holding the fucking boom mic and then he sticks it in his ass. Bros had its world premiere at the 2022 Toronto International Film Festival just in September. Like I hadn't heard of this fucking movie at all. I hadn't seen the trailer. I hadn't seen so much as a post. The first I heard of this movie was Billy Eichner blaming myself and all the other straight people for its flopping. So the first time I'm hearing about this movie is how bad it's doing. So that's not really a great start. So let me go to my notes here. Oh my God, this movie. Don't see it, by the way. I don't know if you needed me to say that, but don't see this movie. Look, I think I'm somewhat on the spectrum, the gay spectrum here, because I think as a non-practicing bisexual, I am a current non-practicing bisexual. I can come from a place of understanding here. Billy Eichner's Bros movie is the best example of why woke Hollywood is failing. They tell you it's a rom-com and that we have to see this movie to be allies. Like in the same way that Viola Davis told us to see whatever that other movie she's in, the like Kings Queens thing. Oh, if we don't see that, we're racist. And they're using woke Hollywood is using the same tactic now for all these movies where they are mostly virtue signaling instead of focusing on entertainment. So we have to see these movies to be not because they're good, but because we have to see them to be allies and to be good people and to up our personal ESG score. Uh, so we're told that it's a romantic comedy, but once you're in the door, you are subjected to 2 hours straight of straight people bashing and multiple orgy scenes. Like there were some nice moments to this film, but it was completely overshadowed by I'm gonna say like graphic orgy scenes. Like, no, we don't see dongs, okay? Like I didn't see any wieners, but like I actually brought my mother-in-law to this movie, and I was embarrassed. I was, like, embarrassed to have brought her to this, and it's, like, not like anybody's a prude, like, nobody's a prude, but, like, I don't know, I guess going to this movie made me feel like a prude because I was physically wincing at what I was seeing, and I was letting out multiple, like, "Oh god," like it's so now that I've seen this movie and I'm gonna tell people just fucking save your money. And I know you already knew this. You didn't need me doing a review for you to know that you weren't gonna see it. It is hard to support something that disses you in real time as you watch it. which is what this movie was. If a straight person made a movie about bashing gay people for 2 hours, they everyone in it would be canceled. It would be the news wouldn't shut up about it. But since it's the other way around, since it's gay people bashing straight people, we all have to clap and pretend it was important storytelling when really it it truly feels like petty payback for what? Uh, you getting to live at the best time in the greatest country for gay people on the planet? I think we're a little bit sick of this. Like, it's so hard to be gay. Really? In 2022, it is so hard to be gay in America? Okay. If any of these men tried living in Iran, they'd be fucking killed. I don't know. There's name a country, and it's probably worse for gay people, other than like a bunch in Europe. I don't know. Maybe Sweden is good for gays. I don't fucking know. But don't act like it's so hard to. And the places they all went is like Provincetown, New York City. It's like, oh my god, we're having such a hard life. It's like you're literally living in the best cities and vacationing in the best cities for gay people. I don't know. But it's oh no, they have such a hard life. The main character embarrasses himself in front of Debra Messing. Oh my god. Our lives are so hard. The main character, played by Billy Eichner, I think his character name is Bobby. He blames all of his struggles in life on being gay when actually he is just a narcissistic, self-righteous asshole. Yeah. And I said in my tweet before, if the only way to be an ally is to watch and applaud constant chastising of straight people and multiple gay orgy scenes, then sign me up for homophobia. This movie makes you want to be homophobic. Like Billy Eichner, you are doing the opposite of what you set out to. These scenes were like, again, you don't see dick, but it's hard to watch. Bros literally feels like being inside of a wet dream that you can't wake up from. That's how I felt. I feel like I'm inside Billy Eichner's wet dream. It literally feels like we are inside Billy Eichner's kinky Make-A-Wish. So, God, there's so much to cover with this plot. The main character, played by Billy, has a podcast. They begin the movie, they're like kind of talking about Stonewall, bragging about Stonewall. I didn't know that I mean, I had a show at the Stonewall Inn for 6 years, and had I known that I could brag about it every single day of my life, like I guess I would have got more mileage out of it, but Chris Gore did a similar did a review about this movie, and I agree with him in that it hits too many it's too gay for a straight audience, and it's too stereotypical um for a gay audience, I guess. I guess I would agree with that description. So it's this movie starts about, and I guess they're doing an episode of the podcast, but then like the podcast is never brought up ever again in the whole movie. Again, like bragging about Stonewall. There's this award ceremony where Kristen Chenoweth pops out and she's got like a Stonewall thing on her head. Like this movie is just full of unnecessary celebrity drop-ins, basically. And we're also supposed to be like, oh my God, Debra Messing. Less than 5 minutes into the movie, we are watching Billy Eichner shave his ass and get blue balls. Uh, and I was like, I don't know if I needed to see this. It's just it's casual, meaningless sex everywhere you look for most of this movie. And I don't know, maybe there's a gay guy in the chat who can confirm or deny this. Like, I just didn't realize that 100% of being gay means constant, casual, meaningless sex. So I want to bring up a couple photos. Oh, Lord. Okay. The one thing I did like about this is a comic that I booked on my Stonewall show, Justin Covington, is in this movie. I was actually quite happy to see him in it because I'm like, hey, good for you, buddy. Like, you're in a movie. But his character is somebody who like comes out as being in a throuple. So again, it's like, it's all of these gay stereotypes. And it's like he's literally, and I don't know if this was a joke, but like I guess he's on the phone with his mom or dad saying like I'm in a throuple now, hooray. It's like, okay. Is that really representative of, I guess they're trying to be funny, but it wasn't so funny that it didn't make up for like the cringe moments. Again, like I'm going to show these, like They say romantic comedy, but we are subjected to, like, multiple gay orgy scenes, like, that was a screenshot from the film, like, I'm not gonna keep it up for that long, but just so you can get a sense of, like, "Oh, this is a romantic comedy," so we have to be constantly showing you not even 2 dudes having sex, but, like, it has to be multiple dudes having sex, like, the whole time. And I don't know. I don't know if that represents, you guys or not. I mean, are all gay guys having thruples? They seem all caricatures of gay dudes, and I was somebody who, like, hung out with I was at Stonewall every month for 6 years. I was hanging out there a lot, so I didn't get a sense that that's how they all are. Yeah, there's tons of throuple references. It's like the guys showing, the guy Aaron who Billy's character, Bobby ultimately ends up with is like, "Oh, this is a picture of a hot couple. This is a picture of, this hot guy and his husband. I'm supposed to be fucking them later." It's all just like the one funny thing I liked in this movie, there was a scene at the club where Billy Eichner's character is trying to, like, hit on this, like, buff kind of Chad type guy, and he keeps turning around, and then, like, with the cuts and the edits, it's like it looks like the guy just literally disappears like a cat would. That actually was, like, kind of a funny moment to me, but not enough to make up for how cringy the rest of this movie is. Billy is, like, forcibly kissing this guy, saying, "Come home with me," and I'm like, you guys are trying to not look like predators, right? Like, you kind of it looks like your mating process is predatory. Just saying. Is this how it goes? Maybe this is how it goes. But it just seems like being gay seems to be 100% of everyone's personality. We watch Billy Eichner shave his ass, and then he says, I quote, I guess he cuts his like cheek while he's shaving it because he's trying to send an ass pic to somebody on Grinder, and he says, "I can't fuck, I can't shit, I'm not a person." Again, you guys are screaming for representation, you're screaming to be seen, acknowledged, screaming for us to hold space for you, and then when you take up that space, you say things like, "I can't fuck, I can't shit, I'm not a person." So, you've made a very niche movie and you are complaining, Billy Eichner, that it doesn't have, mainstream widespread appeal. I agree with Chris Gore that this should have maintained like a Sundance, like a small, have it come out in New York City and San Francisco and Provincetown, and that's it. Like, this doesn't need to be all over the country. It's basically like the only way you can and here's the thing is, like, they chastise straight people throughout the entire film for basically monogamy, for our boring sex lives, and conversely, it seems like, well, gay guys, the only way you can meet someone is physical attraction, and it's not gonna happen unless you have it there, so it's like, they kind of fashion themselves to be, like, extremely superficial, and I don't know, I don't think that's all how all gay guys are. Then they have a meeting inside the office of, where Billy Eichner's character works, which is this LGBTQ museum, and inside this office is, like, as you can imagine, like, black, gay, trans, they're all there, except for a straight white person. I think there's, like, one straight white couple, and I'll talk about them later, but literally they're in this office basically having, like, a victim Olympics. "Oh, lesbians have it harder. No gay guys, no bisexual." It's like it's really they keep saying old-fashioned heteronormative nonsense, like, every step of the way they're shitting on straight people and, like, straight culture, when it's like, "Why can't you just exist? Why do you have to be constantly putting down the other side if that's how you feel?" Literally every interaction revolves around sex. Billy Eichner is a terrible actor with an even worse ass. His performance, much like his ass that we saw in the first 10 minutes, is pretty flat. They make reference to movies like Brokeback Mountain, like, "We're sick of seeing straight actors pretending to be gay." It's like, maybe we need more of that because Brokeback Mountain was a great movie. I just wrote down some quotes that, like, that upset me. At some point in the movie, he said, "Straight people love seeing us miserable." It's like, it just seems like so much projection to me. It's like, it seems like you guys choose to be miserable. Uh, Billy Eichner's character keeps making moves and getting rejected. He never thinks about the emotional consequences of the other person. Like he's just in a very unlikable character, Billy Eichner's character, and not helped at all by his terrible performance. I let out so many audible uggs during the movie. Uh, there was at one point there was like a family and there was like this little boy and girl, and the little boy is like, "Oh, I'm doing a project about Freddie Mercury." And there was like so much unnecessary exposition about Freddie Mercury, like, "Oh, he had a wife. Oh, honey, but he was gay." They said that Jesus was gay. I think they're purposely trying to be inflammatory in this movie. Oh my god, why didn't more straight people see this movie? Because you said Jesus was gay, you said Lincoln was gay. Like the main character, he's miserable, he complains all the time. What was particularly gross in this movie was how I think they utilized kids. And there was at one point, like, Billy Eichner's character was talking about being a bottom, and he's with his friend that has the 2 kids, and at one point, the whole family breaks out into a bottom dance. And I'm like, "These kids are not, maybe they're 10 or less." Yeah, I don't think any kids should be doing, like, a bottom dance or even, like, know what the fuck that is. I don't know. It just seems like they're really kind of shoving the whole kids knowing about it down our throats. Yeah, the mom at one point says, "Half the kids in Brian's class are non-binary." Ugh, that was pretty yucky. There's constant name dropping. You're talking about Lincoln being gay. "Oh, he might have been bi. We're letting the heterosexual terrorists win." Again, like, if there was a movie where people were calling homosexual terrorists, like, it would be crazy. It would be mayhem. The trans person in the movie calls Caitlyn Jenner a trans terrorist. Again, like, none of these lines were funnier than they were cringe, more cringe than funny. Meeting Deborah Messing is like the highlight of Billy's character. He immediately has to talk about his breakup with her. He's so unprofessional. She's like, "Stop telling me your problems. Like, I am not Grace from Will and Grace." Like, there was one funny line in the scene where she was like, "Yeah, look at the lesbians. The lesbians aren't complaining about their love lives. They have their shit together." It seems like Billy has no friends he can complain to. He chastises fit guys, and then I'm like, there's all these sex scenes, and I'm just like, I feel like I'm watching high school wrestling. Like, is this typical sex for gay dudes? Is like, it looks like half wrestling, half flexing, and then like other portions slapping each other. There's like a lot of sucking on each other's fingers. It was a lot of like putting fingers and hands in each other's mouths. It was like honestly so hard to watch. And it was literally like I was counting down the minutes until there was a poppers reference, because this is literally hitting every gay stereotype. And they're like, "Oh, you like poppers?" And then so he pulls it out and they're like sniffing it. And most people are not gonna know what poppers are. It's like, unless you are a gay dude or hang around the scene or like have friends, you're not gonna know, like, "Yeah, this is a thing that you smell that makes your asshole expand." Oh, but why aren't more people seeing this movie? Aaron, who is the character that I actually like, he's the guy that Billy Eichner's character is going for. He's like a closeted chocolatier. He has a little bit more of like a character arc. Harvey Fierstein is there. He plays this guy. His character's name is Lewis. He's I think he's from, is he from The Birdcage? Where is Harvey Fierstein from? Mrs. Doubtfire. He sounds like he's talking out of a stoma. I think that's his real voice though. At one point, they catch Billy Eichner's character catches Aaron shooting testosterone, like, "Oh, but you," and then Aaron's like, "Oh, but you liked my really nice body." Ugh, oh my god. Can we talk about Bowen Yang? It's He literally plays the same character every time I see him. It's like, "Wow, Bowen, so groundbreaking. You're playing the same stereotypically gay character. Wow, great work." Um I don't know, like, maybe all gay men are shallow, unserious, and emotionally stunted caricatures, because that's how this movie is making them look. The Aaron character is kind of the only redeeming part of this movie, but again, it's, like, not enough. They act like kissing each other is like a gay man's third base. Like, "Oh my god, are we kissing now?" Like, it's this big deal. Billy has so many snide comments about being kept down. "Oh, I've seen so many mediocre straight men pass me in life." It's like it was this whole pity party monologue. It's like, "Dude, like, you're the only one with this negative attitude, and that's gonna keep you down in life, like, not you being gay." But again, if that's the lens in which you view life, everything negative is gonna be because you're gay, right? Um, Again, yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys really wanna hear all the details to get yeah, there's another orgy scene, and there's, like, this little nerdy guy who, like, worms his way into the orgy. Like, how many times do we need to see 4 dudes sucking each other off? I don't know. The mom is played by the actress who played Marcy in Married with Children. So the mom actually plays this second grade teacher, and she gets in a big fight with Billy Eichner's character. Not a fight so much, there just was a blow up over Christmas because Billy Eichner really was driving home the point of what people would refer to as the "Don't Say Gay" bill in Florida, and he's just going on and on, like, this was made last year. He's like, "No, I just really think that 2nd graders need to learn about gay history because it's their history too," and then the mom character's like, "No, I just think they're too young." Agree to disagree, and then they drop it, and then, like, Billy's character comes back, "No, actually, they need to know," and it's this point of view, which a lot of people, I think, kind of despise. They maintain on one hand, "Oh, it's so important for kids to know about gay history. We really wanna help the kids. Really wanna make them feel good about themselves." But later in the movie, when the character is asked if he wants to have kids, he goes, "Ugh, ew, no." So it's that same stereotype of, like, you don't wanna have your own kids, but you want to raise straight people's kids and impress upon them your values, which people fucking hate that. And I think this movie makes a point to be shocking. It feels like this movie is written in a way to, like, shock straight people and be kind of, like, in your face, like, "Our sex lives are so great and scandalous and fun, and yours are boring." But really it's kind of just pretty cringe. Billy Eichner's character, when he's talking to the mom, he's like, he actually, like, says the term "pound my prostate." It's like, okay, it's constant. It's really constant. Um, it's just so there's so many icky moments, like, they have something called the Hall Heart channel, like, it's pretending to be the Hallmark channel, and I guess they're doing, like, sad attempts at LGBT movies, like, this film thinks it's so important while it's going on. The main character, Billy Eichner's character, actually admits to fucking it up in front of the other guy's parents on purpose because he was mad that he thought Aaron liked a more buff guy. Like, it's very this is like a very superficial character. But certain lines that really bothered me, like straight gatekeepers keep us from succeeding. Again, this is one like gay pity party. This doesn't look empowering to me. Um They have a hall of bisexuals in this museum, and Leonardo da Vinci is there. There's a ride in the museum called the ride or like the horror ride of gay traumas or something, and then it's Bowen Yang going, "You made it to the Obama administration, but what's around the corner?" It's like, I'm pretty sure Trump was very good to gay dudes. Again, it was like over and over, boring cis white gay guys. They say cis over and over again. There may have been a sweet storyline in here, but again, they're trying so fucking hard to be funny. The last montage is kind of nice when you're not being subjected to orgy scenes. Again, it's all like Barbara Streisand, Deborah Messing. It's like every stereotype. Amy Schumer makes a cameo at the end as lesbian Eleanor Roosevelt. Seth Myers makes a cameo at the end as Harvey Milk. Ben Stiller makes a cameo at the end as like Night at the Gay Museum. And then at the end, the mom brings the second grade class to the museum and is going, "Oh, of course they should see this. It's their history too." Like it's almost like there's no real resolution of this. It's almost like the mom character in this movie bends the knee, is bullied by the movie itself to bring the class to this LGBT museum. So again, like unless you enjoy seeing like orgy scenes, I would stay away from this. And you probably knew that. You probably didn't need me to tell you that. But again, I just don't think like bullying huge swaths of your audience to see your movie is the way to go. It was I was definitely cringing. And I'm like not a prude person. I'm getting to these super chats here. It's like if you want to make a film that's empowering to gay people, like maybe don't hit every single stereotype. I don't know. What do I know? From Ulfidnar. LOL. Did you lose a bet or are you looking for material for a routine? And is that why you saw Bro? So how's life? No, I just wanted to go. I had to go to prove I wasn't a homophobe. Matthew Hammond for 5. There are easier ways to avoid hanging out with your future mother-in-law, Chrissy, besides taking her to this movie. Get the cringe out. Yeah. Oh, I told her, I'm like, I really owe you for this one. Like, I'm so sorry. You had to sit through this. You know what this movie felt like? You know, when you're a kid and not a kid, or I don't know, however old you are, when you first see like porn or something, or like a naked photo, and you have that feeling of like this like visceral, like, oh, like I wasn't ready to see that. Like gets into your soul. That's how I felt watching this movie. There's way like they could have shot this movie in a way that like infers that they're having an orgy. Like they could show a bunch of dudes going into a room together. You don't need to see 4 dudes blowing each other. And honestly, like the if you look at all the guys that were in these hookup scenes with Billy Eichner, like it's not a super diverse uh lineup of guys. They're all like jacked white guys. So that's why to me it looks like Billy Eichner is like he's just fulfilling a kink basically. Like he really wanted to shoot this scene with all these hot buff guys like just for himself. It's like, was this really needed for the movie or you just needed it for your spank bank? And it just feels like we're all witnessing a spank bank deposit. NVIDIA, oh, I get it. It's a biopic of a LGBTQ MAP plus activists. Westfield, such a preachy movie. Even gay people stayed away. Yes, they did. And where's the criticism of the gay people who didn't see this movie? Why are we not jumping down their throats? Because you know what? My theater was not full of gay people. And I saw it in Westchester. Chris Baldessano, when you went to the refreshment stand, did they offer gerbils and anal beads with the typical popcorn and soda? And good morning, Chrissy. Love you, kiddo. No, but there definitely was a dildo in every seat. Billy Noyce. I'm bi and my sexuality is the least interesting thing about me. I don't get why some members of the LGBT community make that their entire identity. Queer content is also over sexualized in media. Yes, very good point. And then when people say, "Oh, are you triggered by watching gay men kiss? Are you triggered?" Yeah, I wish it was just gay men kissing. If it were just gay men kissing, I wouldn't have so many complaints. I mean, I would still have complaints, but I wouldn't have this PTSD that I'm currently dealing with. It's like we don't need to see like asses grinding. We don't need I could have done with a lot less moaning. I I didn't need to know what Billy Eichner's moan sounds like. I would have been okay without hearing that. Westfield, second graders should not be exposed to any sexuality. I agree. And that's like Amanda Bierce's character maintained that in the beginning. And it's not even like he had a convincing argument. He just kept saying, I think they should know. It's their history. And in the last scene, the kids are all at this museum, and I was like, ugh. Even despite all this, Billy Eichner still blames Bros box office disappointment on straight people. So even though I went and saw this movie out of shame, out of guilt, it's still my fault, my people's fault for not seeing it. Oh, okay. Guess what, Billy Eichner? If you want a movie that appeals to straight people, don't have so many orgy scenes. You think? What an idiot. What a fucking moron. Go back to Billy on the Street. I agree with Chris Gore in that like we can handle him in 3-minute spurts. It was projected to make 8 to 10 million. No, they haven't even made 5 yet. Oh yeah, he's so frustrated. This movie is what happens when people don't get out of New York City or LA, basically. Made a super niche movie. It's almost like there were a lot of, like, inside jokes for gay people. Uh, and yes, I will watch Bros too. I should leave a review on Rotten Tomatoes. That's what I should do. My eyes, see goggles do nothing. That's how I felt. That's how I felt watching this movie. Love you guys. Thank you for the chats. Thank you for the comments. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Bye. All right. Love you guys. God, I don't even want to leave. This candle smells so good. I don't want to leave. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye. Love you all. Join the Discord. Feet. Love you all. Wow. You guys are awesome. Come and get it. Bye, guys. Bye. Now I'm really leaving. Love you. Bye.